how did I get my first client with my YouTube business, and how was I able to charge £350 per hour for my consulting services? We're going to cover exactly that in this video so you can start getting more clients yourself and start making more money. Now, the first step before any sale could possibly take place is to actually get some leads, to get potential customers who may be interested in what you're selling. And if you've seen much of this channel before, you will know I'm very passionate about using social media to do that. And when a lot of people hear social media, they still think in terms of their own personal accounts, using Facebook and Instagram to share updates with their friends and stalk people they know. What I'm talking about with social media is using it to attract your ideal clients and customers, using it more strategically from a business point of view. So for example, if you're a fitness instructor, you should be posting content on all the different social media platforms with fitness content that people who want to improve their fitness are going to be following and going to be subscribing to. Because that means that when you come along and say that you have some premium service you're offering, whether it's one-to-one coaching, whether it's some kind of training program you have, whether it's a physical product, so no matter what it is, if people have been following you and they've been getting free value from you, whether that's been entertaining content or really useful information, if they've been getting all that stuff from you, when you come along and say you've got a premium product, they're probably going to be interested in what that is. And so using social media to attract leads into your business, to attract people who may want to buy from you, is a crucial starting point. And that's what I did. I got all of my potential leads for those first few clients I got through this very YouTube channel, and maybe one or two through my LinkedIn, but they're all connected. So maybe someone found a video on my YouTube channel, they clicked through then to my LinkedIn and messaged me there, or they went to my YouTube about page, which I think what happened with my very first client, and then they got my email address from the about page and emailed me that way. Obviously now that I've kind of expanded the business a bit, I've got more links and descriptions that kind of send people to various places that can help get them in contact with me. But I've got all these different ways people can reach me if they do want to reach out and get my services. And that's what you need to do as well. Have this free content on social media, but the option for people to reach out to you who may want to work with you more closely or buy from you. And part of the reason this works so well is that because you've then kind of built a bit of a brand for yourself and people have reached out to you rather than you reaching out to them, it's never going to be as much of a hard sell because they already know what you do. They already kind of know, like, and trust you. You already have that credibility. It's not the same as just someone reaching out of the blue and saying, hey, I've got this, do you want to buy it? No, it's them coming to you because they know you're an expert on this topic. They know that you can help them. And so it's going to be much easier to make a sale if it is a good fit. But then the second step that I followed to get my first ever client with my YouTube business, and definitely the step I recommend that you follow for getting more clients in your business, is to then get your leads onto a phone call. Because a lot of people don't do this. They seem to just want to chat more and more via Messenger or back and forth emails, which is very time consuming, and it's much harder to actually tell if the person is a good fit for working with you. It's much better to get them on a phone call because that's when you can actually close them and handle objections and talk about the product in much more detail. And so for me, with that first client, obviously they reached out to me because of my free content on the social platforms. They'd seen that, they'd been following it a little bit, and then they messaged me to say they were interested in the services that I could offer around helping build a business with YouTube. And once they did that, we had one or two messages back and forth, and then I sent them a link to my calendar. There's a free software you might have heard of before, Calendly, where you can get people to book in a time slot based on the times in your calendar where you're available. So I did that, we set up a call. And once we got onto the call, I did one of the most important things you can do on a sales call. I listened. Because if you've ever done sales before, you will know full well that you need to be spending the majority of the time listening, not talking. Just listing benefits and features of your products and services is never really going to sell people on them. No, you need to actually understand their specific situation and problem. And so that's what I did. And I realized when I was being told the situation their business was in right now, that YouTube absolutely would help them attract clients, especially because they were going after very high ticket clients. And so I knew that they would literally only need a couple of clients coming in from YouTube for the service to more than pay for itself very quickly. And I realized they had the budget for that. We went through the different steps of talking about how it would work and how it would fit in with their specific business. And by the end of that call, we were in a position where I could then send over a finalized proposal, kind of summarizing everything we talked about with the price, with some final details for them to review and discuss. And so once we got off the call, I put all that together, I sent it over, and not long afterwards, they got back to me saying that yes, they would like to work with me on this. So that was kind of how I got my first client, and the key to it all really was the phone call. So I highly recommend, if you are struggling to get the amount of clients that you want right now, get more people on the phone. Yes, it's a bit more uncomfortable and your first few calls probably aren't going to go that well, but the more you practice it, the more you get used to it and you kind of develop a structure to your calls and the right questions to be asking, that's when you really start building rapport with someone and you really start understanding their business's pain points, so you can actually close the sale rather than, like we said, just listing the features and benefits that you can offer, which isn't really selling. So hopefully that just kind of gives you a bit of an insight into it. What you will notice is that is an extremely simple process. There's nothing complicated there. There's nothing out of the ordinary, but that's because it works. It's a proven system that many businesses are using, and you absolutely can be using as well. But I would say that if you're not getting the leads in at the moment to be in a position to actually having those kind of calls, well, the key really for me, this wouldn't have happened without the social media part. That's why I keep talking about branding so much and putting content out there. So bearing that in mind, I've put together a playlist for you with lots of YouTube gems that are going to help you start building your following on YouTube, because I honestly believe YouTube is the best platform for attracting clients to your business. And if you want more reasons on why that is, this video has got you covered. I'll see you there. Cheers.